I'm pretty sure you're supposed to share your screen for that.
Now do you see this?
Ah, there we go. I can see it now.
Excellent. Is it full screen?
Okay, fine, Anand. Fine.
Excellent. Heartful living, session number 5. Altruism, compassion, experience 70. Finding meaning through relationships and work. Disclosures is HilifeJourney, which is our non-profit aimed at improving resilience through deeper self-inquiry. We'll understand the meaning of smiling, ikigai, volunteering, and the altruism compassion experience today in the next 30 minutes or so. When we talk about smile, we want to see where it places in our high life journey. Is it part of doing, or is it something that we naturally are? The answer is some of the recent studies say grin and bear it. Smiling facilitates stress recovery. So what it says is life has a lot of challenges, work and pressures, but if we choose to smile, that might improve our ability to deal with our life stresses better. And then the way we hold the pencil in our mouth itself makes a difference to our mindset, mood, and how the body reacts to life stresses. Even amongst heart patients, there is a study saying if we are able to smile, we may be able to cope better. So this is the follow-up of 3 years, and the people who don't smile versus those who smile every day. The ones who smile every day have much lesser risk for heart trouble over months and years put together. So smiling is healthy. There are numerous reasons why we should smile, but important thing to recognize is smiling can be voluntary, it can be conscious and a powerful choice. Smile elevates our mood as well as mood of people around us. Smile is directly linked to better health and longevity. We don't have to naturally smile, we can act and we can deliberately put on a smile, and that also has substantial long-term health benefits. There are numerous reasons. Smiling is attractive, relieves our stress, elevates our mood, it is contagious, helps our immunity in this COVID world, lowers blood pressure, makes us feel more confident, younger, more successful, and makes us more optimistic. So all the more reason for us to keep smiling more and more. Sure, why not? Because average adults already smile only about 1 to 2 times per hour, whereas adults who are healthy and happy, they end up smiling twice as much, about 3 times an hour. We feel this is okay, right? Look at the number of times children are smiling. 10 times more than even the happiest adults. So children on average smile about 400 times daily, and adults only about 20 times per day. This has numerous health benefits, including increasing endurance. I know many of the children and young adults are participating in athletic events, competitive sports, tennis, and so many other efforts apart from your academics. So when you're trying to do well in your athletic effort, you will be surprised how much more extra boost of energy you can derive if you choose to smile instead of keeping yourself serious and focused. Smiling does not mean less focus. It just adds to your ability to perform better. So this is the basis for our Heartful Living program. Over the last 10 years, we've been teaching heart patients with a heart attack and balloon and stent in their heart the importance of smiling 20 times every hour. I thought this is extremely high standard, but then it ends up being just what we did as kids. And the way to do that is through gratitude. How we connect as adults with so many simple things in our life that make us grateful. That is what is going to allow us not only to physically express a smile, but also inside feel that confidence and gratitude. So gratitude can be for simple events that happen today, like having food or meeting friends or whatever small things that happen today that you're grateful for. Please connect with that. Also, 1,000-fold more in the logarithmic scale will be if you are able to honestly connect with people, friends, family in your life itself and your life circumstance, where you are in school or college or what type of work you're doing, the life circumstance and where we are. I've been asking this question, what are you grateful for, to all my patients over the last 10 years. Only in the last 6 months, I am seeing so many more of my patients saying, Doc, I'm genuinely happy to be here, to be alive. So that is several thousand-fold more profound than any other experience of gratitude. So that is being grateful as a state of being itself. Thanks to COVID, thanks to the time we have with ourselves and our families, many of my patients, I'm sure everywhere in the world, people are recognizing that just being alive itself is something not to be taken for granted. It is something we have to be grateful for. So that is the power of smiling. It is something we need to learn and remember for life, how we can stay cheerful. I request you to mute your mics, all of you. Thank you. Next is the role of Ikigai.
Anand, can you mute everyone?
Okay. So coming back to Ikigai, we have to find meaning in life. This purpose is probably more important than any other pursuit that human beings can ever have, including the pursuit of happiness. So how do we find this meaning? It is in the sense of belonging, in purpose, in transcendence, which means doing things which may not make logical sense and which is not directly helping us, but which has more benefit for people or other things that we really intrinsically value. And then rewriting our own story. We can choose to reframe our life, our experiences, and our past, both the recent and the long-term past, in whichever way we choose to reframe it to the best and most optimistic future that we want to pursue. On average, life expectancy is about 78 years, whereas in some places it has increased to over 90 years. 12-year healthy life expectancy some people are having. And how is that? And the reason may be because despite living hardy, physically demanding lifestyles in these remote corners of the world called blue zones, they have identified with a deeper purpose and meaning in their life itself. Loma Linda in Los Angeles, Costa Rica, Sardinia is an island in Italy, and Okinawa is an island off the coast of Japan, where people end up consistently living into their 90s and 100s without going into retirement homes, and they are healthy and actively participating in life. A big reason for this may be the number of relationships that they have. Good friends in 95 averaged about 3 in the United States. Fast forward to 2010, it is down to half, which is 1.5 friends on average. In Okinawa, through childhood, adulthood, old age, the same 6 life-sharing friends are still maintained because they live in the same geographic area and they truly connect with each other and trust each other. This type of friendship, they have shown through living 100 years, is way more meaningful than the number of online followers that we might procure in our social world. Important thing to remember is, as we grow older, our aging process also speeds up. So, and in the blue zones, to live to 100 years, important reasons are people remain in a more rural setting, larger, more interconnected family networks. Elders continue to play a key role in the family. There is no word for retirement. The word ikigai means the reason to wake up in the morning. They don't exercise at all. Their life itself involves a lot of demanding physical work, and they end up burning so much more calories every day. Diet is simple, predominantly plant-based, and very little meat in it. So this is what makes them live to 100 years in these different remote corners of the world. So that is what is highlighted here as well. This question of purpose in life becomes so important at every stage of our life. It can increase our survival by 10, 20, no, the answer is 50% benefit if we can find that purpose in our life. So that is what a big study involving 40,000 Japanese showed, that having a sense of purpose increases your survival compared to those who don't have ikigai. Ikigai, you can say, involves doing things that you really love to do. The world should need it, you should get paid for it, and you should be really good at it. If these 4 things are met, then it is so much more natural and intuitive to connect with ikigai and find the meaning that will wake us every morning enthusiastically to go about our day. Moving on to volunteering. Because ikigai is so important, we want to see how this volunteering might play a role. In 1940, our language, Tamil, was disappearing. Our culture was not looked upon favorably. We have had slavery where more than 90% of people born in our culture felt subjugated and inferior to the superior caste system. This individual was jailed several times already. Fast forward to 2019. Now Tamil is considered proudly as a world classical language amongst only about 6 or 7 languages altogether, and only few of these are even spoken anymore. Our culture has reclaimed much of its valued heritage. There is equality by birth for anyone born in our culture now in Tamil Nadu. This individual remained the General Secretary for a political movement for 40 years. This is Anbaragan, my granddad, who lived to 98 years, and we lost him only a few months ago in 2020. And his purpose was dignity for Tamils. That was the calling of his life. And he always encouraged young people to connect with their calling at a young age and invited them to dedicate their lives completely to it. So this is him last year when we went to visit him in India with our family. So when you connect with your calling, success is likely, but so much more important, you will find the intensity that brings you alive today. So that is the real purpose of finding your calling, being alive today. For me, volunteering at work. This is last Christmas. I was supposed to travel out, but our plans were cancelled. So sitting at home in the afternoon, I felt I could just come in to work and help in my own office doing the work that I would do otherwise. So this is my colleagues, and this is the type of work I do for the last 15 years. But this day was so much more special and meaningful because I was not doing it out of necessity. I was doing it voluntarily. So that is the beauty of volunteering. So I take care of cardiac patients who are war veterans without a leg, who've been through several back surgeries, who have so many health problems, who are on 26 medicines, don't have any family to support. Despite that, they gain so much magical confidence and health from volunteering. So that is about 1 to 2 hours in a whole week. They just come to our own VA hospital here in Colombia and spend time at the cafeteria or in the bookstore or helping other patients. So whatever they're able to volunteer, that gives them so much more additional purpose and direction in their life. So simply put, participate in activities where you lose track of time itself. So that is the most direct way to see if you are enjoying life and if you are finding that connection and meaning in whatever activity you're trying to accomplish. So we'll finish off with our altruism compassion experience. So the reason we have this as a $1 million grant to study teenagers in high school is because of this slide that you're seeing here. Interleukin 6 in the COVID world, this is the inflammatory marker that could make the difference between life and death. Individuals who don't mount a high interleukin 6 end up surviving, whereas those who mount a high interleukin 6 response to the infection end up having too many organs failing, lung injury, and much higher risk of losing life. So if we are compassionate, first of all, towards ourselves, if we look at ourselves kindly, and obviously that would help us look at the world around us, the people around us, our own families more kindly. This significantly reduces the level of interleukin 6 after a 20-minute mental stress test. So this is scientific evidence saying we need to be more compassionate, especially in the COVID world. So the logical mind is like the ticket if you want to fly across the oceans. But the important thing is once you connect with your own heart, the subconscious, it is not the ticket, it is the actual plane that will carry you through life wherever you want to journey. So this is a pretty busy slide I want to leave you with. The magical neurotransmitters, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, which are primarily brought about through ikigai, volunteering, fasting, and participating actively in sports. So this is what our HilifeJourney.org website is all about. We teach people above the age of 10 years that it is okay to have no food at all for 14 hours. If you have dinner at 8 p.m., it's okay to wait until 10 a.m. the next morning with no calories at all. The next thing is exercise for 30 minutes, then 2 minutes, 1 minute of vocalizing your thoughts, self-talk, and then after that, the last aspect of this is the altruism, where you can spend 1 to 5 minutes doing something outside your routine, where you try to bring a smile to somebody, preferably they don't know who you are, and you are left with 4 inner journey or self-inquiry effects. From fasting, you have to be grateful. Otherwise, you cannot fast. And when you are grateful, you can fast even more. This awareness and smiling that we emphasize during exercise is a way of physically demanding, exerting task, like running or playing sport, while smiling makes your body able to participate better in that act. And the self-talk is to be followed by about 5 to 10 minutes of silence, where you just sit and observe your thoughts and connect with your breathing. And altruism, when it is not even responded with a thank you from the person who receives it, then the only thing you are left with is compassion towards yourself and the community that sustains you. So this is where human beings started 300,000 years ago. About a few thousand years ago, Siddha and yoga taught us how to be perfect. Over the last few thousand years, only in the last 10 years, we've been reminding people how smiling is so important every hour. And this Heartful Living program we've had now for 5 years. And thanks to the COVID pressures of moving away from directly interacting with our communities, we've moved the entire program online. So this is available for anyone interested. So I want to leave you with this reminder. The word Homo sapiens, human beings, means wise humans. That means we are self-aware. We have the ability to find our freedom at the deepest levels and to celebrate life profoundly. So that is what I want to leave you with. And this is a message from our community in Colombia, where our friends, children who we've seen grow up from the age of 1 and 2 years of age, they are now teenagers and they've taken up this nice effort. I'd like you to hear it in their own words.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into this presentation of Donate During COVID, and today we'll just be giving a brief introduction. So first, we'll just talk about the team. And so my name is Akila Nilangovan, and I am 15 years old, and I'm studying at Rockbridge High School, and I'm from Columbia, Missouri.
My name is Sandhya Bhaskar. I live in Jeff City. I go to Jeff City High School, and I'm 16 years old.
My name is Satvik Kanan. I am going to Hickman High School. I am going to be a 9th grader.
And so to first talk about our goal, I'll have Sandhya.
Our first goal is, after schools were closed, several of our classmates struggled to eat 3 meals a day.
And so we want to help those in our community by encouraging donating to the food bank by including like informational videos and a website that encourages viewers to donate and spreads awareness. And so now I'll have Satvik talk about how to donate.
So donating is actually very easy. You can just go to our website at donateduringcovid.live, and in the drop-down menu, you can select your nearest city, then click the link to your website, and it's completely secured. It actually goes through their food bank, but it's our own virtual fundraiser. Enter your payment details and know that you've helped someone else.
All right, thank you all for tuning into this video, and we hope you check out our website.
So this is kids in Colombia who are still in middle school and high school who are trying to collect $10,000, and it is multiplied 20-fold. So they are collecting close to hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of funds, because this money gets multiplied when the food bank goes to the grocery store shopping for the needy. So this is the real challenge that our society is facing in the COVID world. The amount of people in the United States who are food insecure, that means they're going to bed hungry because they cannot afford food, has been about 5% over these years until COVID started, and it has jumped to 15%. But the number of people who do not get food once or twice in a week, that is increased substantially to closer to 40%, especially in families with young children. So this is the most vulnerable group. If in the United States, this is 40%. In India, it is estimated at 75% of our country in India, there are children who don't have sufficient food because of the COVID pandemic. So what have our friends done for that?
Hi everyone, I'm Manis. I'm from Chennai and I'm 16 years old. I study at a school called APL Global, and recently they have been they have tied up with a website called Fuel, which is a crowdfunding platform based in Bangalore. And recently, Fuel in specific has many campaigns listed on the website, and our school has specifically chosen to raise funds for children diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and who are being treated at a hospital called VHS in Chennai. So VHS is also called Voluntary Health Services and is an NGO and has been operating for the past 60 years as an NGO. So at VHS, there are around 200 children who have been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So what is type 1 diabetes? It is non-curable disease which is due to or which occurs because of the pancreas not functioning, and it occurs mainly to children who are younger than me, and it cannot be cured. The only treatment or the only medication for it is to the insulin injections every day. And at VHS, there are around 200 children, and these 200 children, their parents are daily wage earners, and due to the lockdown, they've lost their jobs and they're not able to raise funds, and hence the medications is becoming a more challenging scenario, and without the medications, the child's life is in risks. So as you can see, our school selected around 50 of us, each with a target of 30,000 rupees. And also, as you can see, we are collecting nearly 20 lakhs, which is going to benefit around 140 children, and which is a major help for VHS, as they have most of their patients would benefit. And at VHS, they charge the medications they just provide the medications for 15,000 rupees, which is much lower than the other institutions in Chennai, which charge over a lakh for the exact same requirements. So how you can contribute is by either typing out this link, which you can see on your screen, and my campaign ID is 34334, or you can also just type out Manis BK Unidream and in Google, and the first link or the second link you see would lead to my campaign. And post this, you can click on the contribute button, as you can see, and you can enter the amount you wish to contribute. And there are many ways in which you can contribute, and in case you have any doubts, please feel free to contact me. Lastly, I would also like to thank Anand Uncle for his opportunity and for all of you listening. And please make sure, I don't insist you on donating, but just spread the word. Every dollar or every rupee makes a difference. Thank you.
Excellent. Every small, simple step may make a difference in the big picture. Based on this, there are so many behavioral and psychological aspects to age 70 that we have put it all together for $1 million grant that we have applied just to study 20 or 30 high school students over the next 2 to 3 years. So this would take a few more years before it gets published and for people to see the results. But through our program, through these websites, I've just encouraged everybody to consider how we can spend 1 minute at least every day, which is outside our routine, where we try to bring a smile or some meaning or some happiness to someone else. Preferably that someone else doesn't know who is doing this act of kindness for them. That's the end of the formal presentation. We can open it up for any questions. This is a very different group compared to our High Life series that we've had all through the summer of 2020. Our ACE video missed out from being recorded, so we re-recorded it, but this time we invited so many children who already participated in stepping up to contribute in whatever way they can, some of them in big ways, some in small ways. And I congratulate all these children who are taking the interest and the responsibility and the ownership, not only to care, but also to show others the way in how we can contribute meaningfully in these very, very challenging COVID times. Congratulations, thank you, and we'll open it up for any questions, suggestions, and discussions.
Around smiling or something. Any suggestions around smiling?
Can you unmute yourself? We'd like to hear from the kids first.
Yeah. Well, just smile all the time, I guess.
Good. So you're going to smile more. You always smile, Ria. So that's you'll have to remember to do when you grow up. That's all. From today's discussion. Excellent. Inba,
Jagat.
Okay.
we have to stay in English so that people can hear the recording.
Yeah.
I can see Auntie is smiling more than Uncle.
Auntie is smiling.
So Uncle, you have to learn from her now. To smile more.
Live, you come to video live.
Why you kept the photo there?
Very good.
Sahana, Sanjay.
Hi.
Very good.
I thought it was cool how you said when like you smile more during sports and stuff, you play better. I think that's true because when we play basketball, we play a lot better when we're happier and smiling.
Good.
And
So
not
you've seen
stressed.
that in real life. Excellent.
Yeah.
So just
Especially in
remember it as
tennis.
you grow up.
Also, like
When
you smile.
see,
even
now
if
you're
you say
starting
no.
college.
Say that.
So in college, life gets so much more busier and your chances of sports becomes lesser as you focus more on academics. But again and again, remember how to connect with your innermost joy so that a meaning naturally comes from that. And this ACE experience, do you have any suggestions, anything that you might do towards that in Atlanta?
Anand, on those same lines, both the girls learned something from you. When they met you in person in Missouri, one prominent thing that can you hear me?
Yeah.
So one prominent thing that they kept telling was, even when you say no to others or you're upset and disagree with others, you always conveyed it with a smile, which was very different. And they said they're going to follow that.
Wow.
That was from the Coven's graduation party that they learned from you. And I think that goes very well with what you just conveyed.
Excellent. So this is what we've been teaching my patients and cardiology fellows and residents, how to deal with physician burnout. So this has been my work for the last 5 years. So if anytime anybody catches me frowning, then I'm in big trouble because I'm the ambassador for smiling. But I did not talk about it when Sahana and Sanjana were here last summer. But if they felt it and they were inspired by it, that really means a lot. Excellent, Jagat, for sharing that. But I would definitely love to hear from Sahana and Sanjana in their own words what they've taken home from today's 1 hour discussion.
One and three, right? And then spreading the...
Appa, we'll wait for Sahana and Sanjana to talk. Say something.
Imba, Ninia, unmute yourself. They are not very good.
Hi, this is Inba. I have a question.
Yes. Inba, India.
Inba, can you talk a little louder, Inba?
Hi, this is Inba. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so in biology, we learn how food gets us energy and how like different molecules they help us function, help our body function. But how does fasting biologically help us?
Okay. So we moved very far from altruism
Talking
and
biologically.
today's discussion, but I'll keep it very short. For children, it may not make any difference, especially if you are competing in sports and growing up, both of which require a lot of energy. There is not much need for fasting until the age of 18. But if children are on the bigger side and need to lose weight to become healthy, then fasting is an option. But once you're an adult, above the age of 18, everybody benefits significantly by fasting. It increases metabolism positively, reduces the risk for cancer, heart disease, and brain degeneration and dementia, and prevents development of diabetes, high blood pressure, and so many things. So once a week, if we give up food for close to 24 hours, there are numerous health benefits for every adult. In our traditional ways of life, Amma, if you're talking, it is interrupting, so please.
Oh, sorry.
So the benefit of fasting in adults is numerous, and for children, if they need to lose weight, it may be beneficial. Did I answer that, Inba?
Yes, uncle.
Okay. Sanju, we didn't hear anything from you yet. You have to unmute yourself if you want to say something. Inia, also we haven't heard from.
How you keep in touch with your friends?
Well, you know how you talked about like when you get older, you don't really keep in touch with your friends that much.
Can you say a little louder? We can't hear you well, Sahana.
Well, the way I keep in touch with my friends is probably like just, I don't know, catching up with them a lot, just talking to them like every day. And I think that's really like how I keep in touch with my friends. Like, you know how you said later people don't really, like, they lose their friends just because they don't keep in touch with them. So I think it's very important to keep in touch with your close friends. Because you also stay happy too.
You will stay happy and you will be very healthy at your 100th birthday, which you will be celebrating with those same friends. Excellent, Sanjay.
Yeah.
Inia, anything you want to share?
No, uncle.
You liked the discussion?
Yeah.
Okay, Manas?
Uncle, it was a different experience for me because I've never been to this kind of a talk or this kind of a discussion. So I really liked it, and I'll be waiting for more.
Excellent, Manas. Congratulations for the amazing effort you're doing to help so many children with diabetes in Chennai. Our best wishes for your success.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any suggestions, comments? Appa, Amma?
All, please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Anand, make everyone to unmute. And you all must give a very big hand for Anand for his excellent talk. And give a very big hand for yourself for coming for this meeting. Okay? I will show you a model. Able to see this one?
Yes.
What is that?
Smiley face.
Smile.
Okay, why I'm showing that? If you're going to keep calm, silent, you can avoid many problems. If you keep the line up, smiling, we can solve many problems. So keeping quiet in silence, smiling. Smile is a small curve. It straightens very many problems in your life. So as Anand was telling, keep smiling. And you already mentioned how one should be like that. I really appreciate. And this message, as you've been telling Anand, it must reach more and more younger group. Suppose if one person like Imba is there, please communicate this message of what you learned today, each one minimum for 100 people of your friends and relatives, say within 24 hours, 48 hours. This news must spread like anything so that we can make globally everyone healthy. That is the most important, because health is wealth. Nothing can be compared with health. The moment if Anand was telling, we are going to keep smiling, if you are going to be having positive one with all the hormones, even if you have corona virus, if you are going to load in that, you will have enormous immunity and resistance to overcome the disease. So the disease will never affect you, provided you are all the time calm, as has been telling like that. I really appreciate for the interest. And you may think that crowd is less. I personally view each one person is equivalent to 1,000 people. So how many people now are on the address? 7 people means 7,000 people, because you got such an enormous capacity to communicate the message. I'm really happy and I appreciate Anand for your nice service and your commitment. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye. And I echo what Uncle just said. It is a really good gesture, especially spreading this, this love and smile to the kids, and that is going to take them a long way. So thank you.
Thank you, Jagan.
Thanks so much. Good luck to all of you. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you very much.
Take care. Best
Bye.
wishes. We'll meet. Bye, Layu. Take care, children.